Welcome back to the 411 Podcasting Network. I am your host, Larry Csonka, and this is the 411 on Wrestling Podcast. Before we get into the meat of the show today, I need to offer some thanks to everybody that made episode 1 a very successful show. We're off to a good start. I greatly appreciate it. And speaking of that, we are on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the appropriate podcasting places, and make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. We would greatly appreciate it. I also want to offer some thanks, as in episode 1 I talked about my recent medical issues, and I had a lot of great people reach out to me through email, Facebook, Twitter, and such, and left me some really great messages, words of encouragement, and I just wanted you guys to know that I greatly appreciated that, and it feels good, and everything is going well. I got a good update. I had doctor's appointment Monday. I got the staples out of my leg finally, and we are on track to get the prosthetic process started here. It's supposed to get measured in about 2 weeks' time, and once that is done, I will be about 3 weeks after that until the leg is ready. So it's looking like mid-April that I can literally be back on my feet, which is very exciting for me. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked about that. Everything's going good. I'm healthy. The weight's staying down. Just everything seems to be going pretty well right now. So I'm just trying to stay positive, and because it is what it is at this point. I can't change it. Leg's not going to grow back. I mean, that'd be nice and all. Everything is going well right now, and I have no real complaints. So, again, thank you for everybody that sent kind words along. I really, really appreciated it. And, again, thank you for helping to make the first episode a very successful show. We're very excited, and, again, I'm going to try to do what I can to make this show a fun and successful one. WWE Fastlane was on Sunday, and while I did my normal full review, I thought I'd just hit a couple quick notes on that show. Overall, I thought that the show over-delivered. It was a show that I largely enjoyed. It was far from perfect. There was some rough matches, couple bad ones. I did feel that the booking was a little sketchy, and that the women largely disappointed. But I felt that the tag team wrestling on the show was really good and greatly entertaining. I really enjoyed, starting with the kickoff match and even the Shane and Miz match. Just really entertaining stuff with the crowd into it. Also, the U.S. title match, which ended up scrapping Ray versus Andrade, ended up a rematch with Joe Truth, Ray, and Andrade from SmackDown. And they had another banger. Just a great match, and the WWE title match also great. So again, I understand why some people would not be a great fan of the pay per view, but I thought overall an enjoyable piece of business. I had fun reviewing it, and all too often when I'm reviewing a WWE pay per view these days, it feels like I sit there and I think to myself, Jesus Christ, this is a long fucking show. And I just want it to end. And that wasn't the case with Fastlane. I had a good time. The Shield main event I thought was good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was good. They played the hits. They gave the crowd exactly what they wanted. They beat the heels. And, it was a quality main event overall. So, good to very good show, depending. But I really enjoyed the wrestling, and again, I had a fun time reviewing the show. So thumbs up from me.
Heading over to New Japan Pro Wrestling, the New Japan Cup has been going on here, and it's been a good piece of business also so far. I've had a lot of fun. It's had some rough matches, obviously, but overall, the New Japan Cup has been a good experience. We're about to head into round 2. Round 1 is complete, and as we head into round 2, we're looking at the following matches. And I thought I'd not so much break them down, but go ahead and give some quick picks. First of all, we have Tai Chi versus Tomohiro Ishii. I think Tai Chi will sneak his way, unfortunately, past my man Ishii. Yoshihashi versus Chase Owens. I think Yoshihashi moves on since Chase Owens got the upset in the first round, and he kind of has the U.S. title shot in his back pocket due to that. Lance Archer versus Will Ospreay. This one's actually kind of a toss-up because the winner faces Okada in the next round, and I could see them moving Lance Archer on to give Okada a monster to beat. But I'm not sure if Archer beating Ospreay at this time is the right call. I think Ospreay may beat another big man here and move on to face Okada, which could be pretty spectacular. Mikey Nichols versus Okada is next. Okada should roll through fellow Chaos member Mikey Nichols. It should be good. Hopefully Nichols steps up. Taguchi versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Taguchi pulled the big first round upset on 10-1, replacing David Finlay there, so Tanahashi should win this one. In what could be one of the matches of the tournament, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kota Ibushi, the Cruiserweight Classic final we never got. Kota Ibushi all the way for me, beating last year's winner. In the comedy special, Toru Yano versus Colt Cabana. I think Yano moves on, but Colt's looked good on the tour, motivated, having a good time. So, and then finally we have Minoru Suzuki versus Sonata. I see Sonata continuing on, and probably going solidly deep, but because he'll beat Yano in the next round. But I think that's how the second round shakes out. So far, the top matches, things over 4 stars for me. Day 3, Tanahashi versus Uno. Day 3, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Evil. Day 2, Okada versus Elgin. Day 1, Nagata versus Ishii. And Day 3, Kota Ibushi versus Naito, which I went the full 5 on. I love that match, thought it was spectacular. So the New Japan Cup is rolling along, doing well, and we've had some great matches so far.
The ROH 17th anniversary pay-per-view is Friday night. I will have a full written preview up on Friday morning for that, but I thought while we were here we could do some quick picks. Marty Scurll versus Kenny King, going Marty Scurll. Rush versus Bandito, I am going Bandito. Lifeblood's Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams versus the Kingdom's Vinny Marseglia and TKO Ryan. I am going with the new Lifeblood stable, Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams. My man Jonathan Gresham versus Silas Young should be interesting. I'm going Jonathan Gresham here. The ROH Women's Championship, Mayu Iwatani versus Kelly Klein. Iwatani recently won the title from Klein, who won it in Final Battle. I think they're going to switch back to Klein because she's a regular. ROH Tag Titles, the Briscoes versus PCO and Brody King, which the Briscoes have petitioned for to be a no DQ match. I believe the Briscoes retain. TV champion Jeff Cobb versus Shane Taylor. This is going to be a big lads battle, hostile fight. Jeff Cobb. And finally, the ROH Championship match. Jay Lethal defends against Matt Taven. Again, I'm going to have a written preview Friday. This is the one that has me torn, because I don't know if it's the right time for Taven to win the title. I don't know if you want to put him in a major match at Madison Square Garden when Jay Lethal has been so good for the company. But again, the Lizard Man has historically pulled title changes at odd times, the wrong time. So we'll see what happens Friday night. I think they're going to go with Taven, though. I'm not a big fan of that decision if they do, but I think that is what's going to happen. Again, full written preview up on Friday. Evolve returns with 2 shows this weekend, so it's going to be a loaded weekend between New Japan Cup, ROH Anniversary, and Evolve. Evolve 123 takes place in Melrose, Massachusetts, Friday night, head to head with the ROH pay per view, and of course Evolve with the relationship with WWE. So we have in the main event the Velveteen Dream versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy was picked by the fans in a poll on Twitter to get the Velveteen Dream experience, and Velveteen Dream is actually replacing Ricochet on these shows. But Velveteen Dream is he was really good last time he was in Evolve. And again, I think that the NXT guys working in Evolve and working with different people, again, it's like the territories traveling around. It is nothing but good for their development. And Orange Cassidy has been really good this last year, so should be a quality main event. We have a tag team match also here. We have the Evolve Tag Champions, which are NXT's Street Profits, and they will be facing 2 members of the new stable, The Unwanted. The Unwanted are Eddie Kingston, Shane Strickland, Joe Gacy, and Colby Corino. They'll also be in a match on the next show in a 6-man tag. So this is an angle that's going to go over the next 2 shows. I can see the Unwanted winning. By the way, Velveteen Dream should beat Orange Cassidy. I think that the Unwanted are going to pull off wins this weekend to really set them up as players moving forward. Next up, Evolve champion Austin Theory defends against John Silver. John Silver feels like he's been around forever. Quality performer. Should be a good match. I don't see him winning though, but this should be a chance for him to try to earn a more regular position with Evolve, which I'm all for, getting some new names mixed in. Josh Briggs versus Darby Allin. Darby has been the lovable underdog who pulls off his big wins from time to time. He beat Briggs at Evolve 114, so this is a rematch from that. Briggs I really like as well. Darby's really great, but Briggs is a bigger performer. He's been a lot of fun so far. Great addition to Evolve. I could see him evening up things here. Although it'd be nice to see Darby win and kind of move forward into a program with Theory, which they have been long teasing. In tag team action, we have WWE champion, WWN, JD Drake and Anthony Henry versus AR Fox and Leon Ruff. Drake and Henry is the workhorse and are a great team. AR Fox pretty much always delivers, and Leon Ruff has been really great. One of his students. So probably a really quality tag match there. Looking forward to that one. Evolve 124 on Saturday takes place at La Boom in New York. Main event is a 6-man tag match. We have Velveteen Dream and the Street Profits, and they will be facing off with the Unwanteds, Shane Strickland, Eddie Kingston, and Joe Gacy. Again, a continuation of the program from the previous show. The Unwanted should definitely win here in this 6-man tag. It makes the most sense. They should probably win the first night too if we're to take them seriously moving forward. So we will see what happens. But again, has a chance to be really good. Shane Strickland is pretty much always great. Eddie Kingston, when motivated, can be great. He's a great promo especially. But match should be good. Next up is a champion versus champion non-title match.
as WWN champion JD Drake faces Evolve champion Austin Theory. This is basically a bragging rights match to see who is the top champion in the company ahead of WrestleMania weekend. Drake has been really good. I think his work has been better than Theory's. Theory is still a project in many ways, but he is exactly the kind of guy WWE wants because he looks like an early 2000s creator wrestler in some ways. But he's not bad by any means. He tends to have a lot of good matches, but his top tier work hasn't been quite where I'd like it for him to be the champion. Anthony Henry faces Darby Allin. This is a feud that's been going on for a few months now. Again, Darby, I'd like to see Darby positioned better because it feels like his momentum has been a little start and stop with the company, a little too often for my liking. But Henry's been a really, really strong performer for the company. So this could be very good. I think Darby should win. Next up, AR Fox with his Skulk versus Josh Briggs. Briggs basically roughed up Fox's students in December, and they've been involved in some tag matches. And basically, AR Fox wants revenge for the young lads, and he is going to try to take it out on the big man. AR Fox, another guy who's been extremely consistent, especially in the wall. Always seems to deliver without fail, and just top tier performer. Great guy. So looking forward to that. I think if Briggs loses to Allen, he wins here. But if he beats Allen, Fox may pull off the win and get revenge here. And then finally, we have Leon Ruff versus Kurt Stallion. This is kind of like a young up-and-comers match, a future of Evolve, so to speak. Both guys are really good. If they get a little bit of time and a chance to go out there with no restrictions, again, quality addition to the card. I think Leon Ruff takes it.
And finally, we're going to move on to our Q&A session. If you want to ask me a question, you can hit me up in the comments section on 411, at Larry Csonka 411 on Twitter, or LarryTZonka@gmail.com. I'll gladly answer pretty much anything. I'm not picky. I'll answer questions and have fun and try to make the show interactive as much as possible. So I put a call out for some questions, and I got a few, and we'll go through those to close the show today. Number one, what do you think about WWE signing Stokely Hathaway? I think it's fucking awesome because Stokely Hathaway is a tremendously talented dude. He's a great manager. You could put him on TV right now, and he would be one of the best characters and talkers on WWE TV, period. The dude is really great, and I hope nothing but the best for him because it's been a long time coming, and he very much deserves it. And on a personal note, he has always been a very kind individual to me when talking to me through DM on Twitter. He would interact and talk with me and ask about stuff during and after Evolve shows, and it was really cool because he was kind of looking for my feedback, but then he was also giving me insight to stuff I might have missed. So it was also a teaching moment for me, which I greatly appreciated as a reviewer. Next question is, how has your review style changed from when you first started? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I started back in 04 doing reports. I don't call them reviews because back in the day I was just a strict play-by-play guy, like wrestler A versus wrestler B, giant block of play-by-play, winner, and that was it. I didn't offer a breakdown. I didn't offer a star rating. It's not what I did back then. I evolved over time and adapted and tried to become a better and more complete reporter on the shows I was doing, and that kind of turned me into a reviewer. Next up, where would you like to see Shota Umino go on excursion, and how quickly would you like to see him come back?
It's probably going to be, I would guess, ROH or CMLL. I'm not sure exactly where I would want him to go because it just depends. ROH has been a little sketchy in the past on the Japanese talent, on how they've used them. They use Jay White probably the best out of anybody, honestly, but it's going to be one of those where he may do kind of like Roppongi 3K did. He may do a combo platter and work a little in both and go back and forth a little bit. But yeah, Shota's going to be he's going to be a top star when he comes back. He just had a great match with Tanahashi, and he's young and he's really good so far.
Where do you get the motivation to review Main Event and Explosion? It's just a job. It's nothing special. I do what I do. What do you think the gimmicks themes for the Saudi shows might be this year? I'm going with the color green and money because that's the only reason WWE is doing it. Because they're making like $30 to $40 million a fucking show. I get it from a business standpoint, but it's not making people happy. Who do you think is winning the New Japan Cup, and who would you like to see win? I went Ibushi in my predictions, sticking with it. How do you feel now that Children of the Corn has turned 35? I feel old, Outlander. I feel old. Are there any wrestlers you dislike on the levels of Taichi and Baron Corbin? No, again, I don't hate these guys because it's just, but yeah, like as far as personal taste as watching wrestling goes, yeah, not my favorites. Tamina and Nia Jax are right up there because they are fucking horrible. And finally, we have a question. What are your thoughts on how NXT will be going forward since they lost most of their biggest stars last month? Who do you see stepping up and becoming the faces of NXT in the next year? I don't worry about NXT. They have a loaded roster. There's a ton of talent. But immediate names that are going to step up are Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, and Donovan Dijakovic. I believe that's how you say it now. And with that done, that brings us to the end of our show for today. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Remember to follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. Please subscribe. Please leave us a nice 5-star rating. And again, I appreciate you listening. I apologize for any audio issues. I'm still working through the new technology and fiddling with programs. So hopefully I can lock it in and get it a little cleaner as we move forward. Again, if you want to send me a question, use the comments section here on 411 at Larry Csonka 411 on Twitter or LarryTZonka at gmail.com, and I will gladly answer. Thank you for listening, and yes, I am working, since some people asked, on being able to record with Steve Cook again. I will talk to him this week and see what we can do about that. So again, thank you, take care, and see you around the site.